Good morning and welcome to Enzo's Plate and Deli. So, I've started this channel a little while ago, and this is one of my first videos and an introduction. So, I can ask you if you like what you see during the programs that I will be showing you later. I'd like you to smash that button, like, and share my video with your friends and families. So what's Vincenzo is my real name, but anyway, everybody calls me Enzo. So what is Enzo's Plate and Deli about? I decided to do this because my family and friends always loved my food, my cooking, and what I prepare for them, from lunches to Sunday lunches to dinners. So there's no actual theme as in just Italian, or as I live in South Africa for many years, just South African or whatever. I actually have adapted different plates that I prepare for different people. Obviously, by nature is more inclined to go to the Italian spices and flavorings. However, I introduce a variety of different things, from fish to meat to chicken, vegetarian, and all sorts. So, let me show you today. I'm going to prepare a porchetta. So this is a typical Italian roast pork that is prepared in Italy in different regions, spiced differently. I'm gonna stop saying so I'm going to do what I recall and what I've seen some people in Italy, very good cooks, like friends of mine that have prepared this dish in Italy, other YouTube channel, and actually I've just decided to incorporate my own thing in this. So yes, we all look at cookery books, we all look at videos how to prepare something, but this round I'm going to do just as I feel and what I should do. So let's do this. Don't forget to smash that like button if you like this. So I'm going to start preparing the pork belly by deboning it. I've just started a few little cuts, taking the ribs out. This is a nice 2 kilogram pork belly, and nice and clean. I've burnt all the hair off the skin, and this is what we call porchetta. So first thing, clean it, trim it, and then when we come back a little later, I will salt it and spice it and roll it and see and show you how it's done. Okay, see you in a little while. Right, so we're back from trimming the pork belly. As you can see, I've taken the ribs out. I've taken some pieces off here because this is all going to fold together. So what's the next step to do is I'm going to salt this pork belly. I use 30 grams for every kilogram. In some places I put a little bit more than other. It's just normal salt, because then this all melts. And what the salt does is flavor the meat. And of course you need the fat, because that's what actually gives them the porchetta the flavor, and the fat the flavor. And as the fat melts, then all the flavoring goes in. Now I'm going to do this and then leave this to rest for 3 to 4 hours. And then of course all this salt, you may be thinking I'm putting a little bit of salt on, but all this salt then gets rinsed off, and then I will spice it with pepper, and I'll tell you later. Okay, so we're back. We've done now salting of the meat. We've rinsed it off. I rinsed off all the meat, the salt off the meat. So now I'm going to add the spices before I actually roll it. So what I've got here for spices is a mixture of black and white pepper, some garlic, and some rosemary. So let's start with the pepper. I'm going to sprinkle this pepper all over. Sometimes I like to use my hands and then rub it in, which I'll do in a minute. So I've used approximately here 2 teaspoons of black pepper and 2 teaspoons of white pepper, but I doubt whether I'm going to use that whole lot. I'll tell you in a minute, because I don't particularly cook with quantities all the time. I just basically use and get my feel of what I need, you know what I'm saying? It's something that you just develop over a period of time when you're cooking. This is a slightly thicker part of the meat, so I'll put a little bit more pepper here. Along there. We need a little bit. Also, I like to put some on the skin to give it flavor. Rub it in nicely. And we do some on the other side. I'll rub that in a minute. Okay, massage it all in. You must treat the meat with kindness. It's going to treat us with kindness once we've eaten it. So then I'll put some rosemary. This is nice fresh rosemary I just picked from my garden. I'll put in some all over, because once you roll it, of course, it will absorb all the flavor into the meat. And go right through. Then I'll take my garlic and just take the skin off. And of course, this is a purple garlic, which has got quite a bit of flavor. And I don't use too much. I'll cut them quite big chunks, because this will flavor the meat all the way through. Some in there. Well, I said not too much garlic, but this was quite a big piece. But it's fun because it's quite a. Once we roll this, it will be quite a thick piece of meat. And then we take our little sections. Right. When I trimmed this meat, I actually ended up having a little bit of extra meat aside. So I don't throw it away, because I use that when I make my sugo, you know, my sauce for my pastas. Right, now we're going to start rolling it. It may look like a bit of a tedious job, but soon you'll see what I'm doing. Here is my good old faithful needle, which going to poke through there and into here. First, I'm going to just bind this middle section, and then I'll pull it tight. I think, well, let me see, I'll do a knot here. just to keep that piece in there. I'll come back to that just now. And then of course I'll take my next section, which is here, and we carry on until I've got it all together. You see it's closing nicely. Right, I'll carry on doing this until I'm done, then I'll get back to you just now. Right, so we've tied our pork belly all nicely. You can see I've made a nice crisscross, took it around, as you can see here, and then back to front. Now the thing that's important to do is that we pierce it so that the juices can rotate inside and not burst all this lovely crackling that's going to develop. Make another one or two here. This is to allow all the fat to drip out, but still keeping it moist. Right. We're just checking it through. There we go, your porchetta is ready. I have a fire outside which I've prepared, which is just coals in a Weber. I'm getting it up to heat. I normally put it in when the heat is around about 280 degrees. I'll do it not direct, indirect heat. In other words, the coals is on the sides. I put a tray at the bottom, put my porchetta on, close the lid, but I'll show you just now when I'm ready, when the coals are ready, and then we leave it there for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Okay, so everything is done. This is ready. My fire is ready. As I said, it will be quite warm at first, but as it simmers down, because the idea is this, it starts cooking with a high heat, and as the heat drops, it starts cooking it inside more and more. So we want the outside to be nice and crackling, and the inside must be also cooked and nice and juicy. So I will show you this as we're going along. I've put a little drip tray at the bottom with a little white wine, just for evaporation and some moisture. And now I'm going to add my meat on. There we go. And as I said, it's indirect heat. We close this with our lid. This is a Weber, as many of you know. We leave this open so it can evaporate, and it's got a breather, and we leave it like this for about 2 to 3 hours. We'll see how we go. I'll give you another peek look just now. Enjoy. Right, so 2 hours later, my porchetta is cooked from the fire, and we've cut the first slice here. As you can see, it's, listen to that, it's absolutely awesome. We're gonna cut another little slice to see what it looks like inside. And there it is, beautifully cooked, still a little juicy, which is what we like. That on a nice bit of a nice slice of bread, excuse me, served with some nice peppers and potato and glass of wine, and here we go. Salute, cheers.